A few days ago, Wizards of the Coast dropped a Mystic subclass playtest, and in that playtest were 4 new subclasses, one each for monks, paladins, rogues, and warlocks. GameMasters here, and previously we took a deep dive look into each of those subclasses, but in today's video, I want to hone in on one specific subclass's ability, specifically the Magic Stealer, the Rogues subclass. Now, that subclass is all about, as the name implies, stealing magic. This rogue is all about hunting down and preying on spellcasters and using their magics against them. Once you have hit level 3, you gain what is called Empower Sneak Attack. And that is the ability that I really want to dig deep into, because simply put, I can't help but feel that it is extremely overpowered. Let's jump into it. Before we can define what Empower Sneak Attack does, we first need to understand what the Rogue's base Sneak Attack does. Sneak Attack is given to you at level 1. You start off with it, and it reads, "You know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack roll if you have advantage on the roll, and the attack uses a finesse or ranged weapon." Finesse would be on a somewhat small weapon like a dagger or a dart, even a scimitar or a whip would fall under this category, whereas a ranged weapon could be a crossbow or a longbow. You kind of get the idea there. For our example, we're going to go with the classic dagger, which causes 1d6 piercing damage. Sneak Attack continues. The extra damage type is the same as the weapon type. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target, the ally doesn't have the incapacitated condition, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. The extra damage increases as you gain rogue levels, as shown in the Sneak Attack column of the Rogue Features table. Okay, we get Empower Sneak Attack at level 3. Keep that in mind. So we're going to now reference the Rogue's Features table to see how much base damage our Sneak Attack is going to do. And we can see here that it's going to be 2d6 in addition to the base damage of the dagger, which is 1d4. So at level 3, just with the dagger and your Sneak Attack, you are doing 1d4 plus an extra 2d6 piercing damage. Now that we have that fresh in our minds, let's jump into the Rogue Magic Stealer subclass. And remember, at level 3 is when you gain Empower Sneak Attack. It reads, "Immediately after a creature you can see within 30 feet of you casts a level 1 plus spell, you can take a reaction to absorb magical energy from the spell. When you do so, until the end of your next turn, the next time you hit with your Sneak Attack, you deal extra force damage. To determine the extra damage, roll a number of d6s equal to the spell's level and add them together. You can take this reaction a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest." Now, are you guys seeing how devastating this can be yet? And yeah, there's even a twist to this that I'm going to point out in just a little bit, but let's take it all as it's being presented. Let's say that you and your party are going up against a Mezzoloth, and it's just cast Cloud Kill. You and your party made the save, just barely, but you use your reaction to absorb magical energy from that spell. Now, the next time you hit with your Sneak Attack, how much damage are you going to do? Taking the base dagger damage, 1d4 piercing, plus the Sneak Attack, which at level 3 adds 2d6 piercing, plus your Empower Sneak Attack takes the spell's level that was just previously cast, which Cloud Kill is a level 5 spell, and that you take that number of d6s and add that to the roll's total worth of force damage to the target. So all told, and I want to thank Rivers RPG for sending over these d6s. They are awesome, especially for this scenario. But all told, you're going to be doing 1d4 piercing damage plus 2d6 piercing damage plus a whopping 5d6 force damage for a total of 31 whopping damage. That is an insane amount of damage for a level 3 rogue. Now, a moment ago, I mentioned that there was a twist to this Empower sneak attack. Let's look over the full description once more. Notice that first line. Immediately after a creature you can see within 30 feet of you casts a level 1+ spell, you can take a reaction to absorb magical energy from the spell. Now, rules as written, any being in the game, including a player's character, is a creature. Yes, folks, this means that even should a party member cast a spell, the rogue can absorb magical energy from that as well. Throw some tactics into it, and have someone cast the highest level spell of protection that they have just before going into battle, and have your rogue sneak around back and do some stabby action. It's like free damage at that point. Want an even bigger twist? I'm that same level 3 rogue, just casually walking through Waterdeep, and I'm then within 30 feet of a most powerful caster, let's say Elminster, and he's just cast a level 20 spell. Yep, I'm going to absorb some of that spell's magic, and now I'm going to add an extra 20d6 worth of force damage to my next sneak attack, even if I choose not to use sneak attack for a few days. I mean, it doesn't specify a time limit, does it? Now, I would assume it wouldn't stack, although it does state that we can take this reaction a number of times equal to our intelligence modifier, and it doesn't specify that we have to use sneak attack between reactions. Empower sneak attack from the Magic Stealer Rogue is just a taste of what this subclass can do. There's even a more powerful version of Empower sneak attack that you get at level 17 called Eldritch Implosion. But if you want to check out how gross that is, as well as check out all the other subclasses in this playtest, be sure to check out this video next. Let me ask you real fast. From what you've seen of this Empower sneak attack, how much more broken can you make it? Let me know down in the comments. And until next our paths cross, may you absorb magical energy from the next spell that's been cast at you.